Hello, welcome to question number 4 of the revised GRE general test. Now the question that we have here is we're given a triangle, a right triangle to be specific, because of the right angle, angle 90 degrees that we have here, and then it has two sides. So the first side is x, the next side is y, and we are given an angle of the triangle. Now we know this is a right triangle, so we're told to determine the which of the quantities has the higher weight, whether they are equal or whether the information we're given is indeterminate, to determine the weight of either quantity A or quantity B. Anyway, we have a triangle, and we know that the sum of the angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. Now looking at the triangle that we have here, the angle here is 90 degrees, so this is 90 degrees, while the angle here is 50. So if you want to obtain the angle here, so since 90 plus 50 is 140, and then the sum of angles in the triangle should be 180, so that implies that the angle here has to be 40 degrees. Alright, now how then do I determine which is greater in quantity A and quantity B? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an intuitive explanation of what is going on here. Now let me redraw this diagram. So I want to change the way it is. That is, what you have here is, let me redraw it. You have something like so this is y, and then this is x. So we draw something like this. So this side is this side here, this side is this side here. So this is y here is 90 degrees. So if this is y, then this long side is here, is x. And then we know that if this is 90, then the angle here is 50 degrees. The angle here is 50 degrees. So and we know that the angle here is 40 degrees. Now we want to determine the relationship between x over y and 1. Okay, so now since I have my diagram here, that is, this was obtained from here, so let me just draw it here again. So this is what we have. So we have this, yep, and then this is it here. We have x, so we have y, then we have 50 degrees, and then we have 40 degrees. Now there is a relationship between x and y. Now how do you determine the relationship? Now you'd observe that y is the side that corresponds to the side with the larger angle. That is, y has, for side y you have a larger angle, and for side x you have a smaller angle. Now is there any way I could determine which is greater or whether they are equal? There is. Now look at it this way. Assuming I made angle 40, if I reduce angle 40, probably maybe you have something like this. You have something like this. Now what you'd observe is angle 40, the angle that you're going to have here, let's call this angle theta 1. Now theta 1 is going to be less than angle 40, while the new length that we have, which is going to be x1, is going to be longer than x. And similarly, the new length we have for y, that is the new y, is going to be shorter. That is, y1 is going to be shorter. Or let me just call this y1. So what I'm saying here is x1, based on this angle here, now as theta 1, or as angle 40 reduces, so theta 1 is less than 40 degrees, then x1, the new length, is going to be less than x, while the one that corresponds to the larger angle is going to be less than y. That is, y1 will be less than y. So angle 50 degrees still remains the same way, but the more we reduce the angle, then the side that corresponds to the new angle which has been reduced, it increases. Okay, let's see another demonstration. Assuming I decide to reduce it more, reduce it further, say you reduce it again to this length, and then you have a new angle, say theta 2, then the new length here, which is y2, y2 is less than y1, which is also less than y. But the new length that you have that corresponds to the small angle here, which is going to be x2, is going to be greater than x1, and x1 is also greater than x. Now, what's the moral lesson from all this thing here? Now, what we are actually saying is that for any angle, the side that corresponds to the smaller angle is going to be greater than the side that corresponds to the lower angle. In other words, looking at this angle x, looking at this triangle here, since x, let me use a better color. Let me choose which one should I choose here now? Okay, let me choose black. Now, since x here corresponds to the side with the smaller angle, and y here corresponds to the side with the larger angle, the relationship between y and x is that now any side that corresponds to the side with the smaller angle is going to be greater than the side that corresponds to the one with the larger angle. In other words, x is greater than y, and the demonstration was seen in the picture that I drew here. So in other words, x is less than y, so x is greater than y. Now if x is greater than y, I could divide both sides by y. So what you'd obtain is x divided by y is greater than 1, and we're told to determine the relationship between x, y, and 1. And then from what we have seen here, x divided by y is greater than 1. So that implies that quantity A is the one with the larger weight. And then that completes the problem. Thank you for watching.